Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Finally, the stress is over. The hassle is pretty much gone. The dog's not back yet, but as soon as he's through the door, we got a little party, but partying's not really the Chelsea mood at the moment. It's the opposite of a party for us right now. We're struggling. We've got a cup final against Liverpool. Sandwiched in between that, tonight, we've got to go to Elland Road, a team who are fighting for their lives to stay in the Premier League. And in the meantime, we cannot secure a victory for love nor money. 2-0 up against Wolves. Somehow, we managed to draw it 2-2. But this is your match preview for Leeds versus Chelsea. Big game this for us because two main reasons really. If we somehow lose tonight to Leeds, which isn't an unforeseen thing, they are fighting for their lives. Burnley, they are pretty much going down. Watford, Norwich are down. Everton, they got Super Frank in charge, so they've managed to knock up a couple of wins. So for Leeds, this is a must-win game. And for Chelsea too, we lose this, Spurs beat Arsenal, and then they play again at the weekend whilst we're in an FA Cup final, which, by the way, not complaining, but Chelsea could end up in 5th by the end of this week in the Premier League, which, considering just how comfortable we were, a few weeks ago we were talking about hypotheticals of if Liverpool and City capitulate, Chelsea win all their games, we could win the league. That was nonsense, but now there's no more time for nonsense. Chelsea have got to go to Leeds tonight and get the job done. After what we saw against Wolves at the weekend, if you watch the 6 Things We Learned video, there are many questions right now that we do need immediate answers to, such as concentration, not conceding 97th minute goals to lose 2 points, which would have made this game a lot more comfortable, a lot less stressful, with focus coming to be able to win a major trophy at the weekend at Wembley against Liverpool. That didn't happen, so as we always seem to do these days, we've got to stumble over the line, but we've got to make sure that we do get over the line. If Chelsea don't finish top 4 from the position we were in a couple of weeks ago, it would be a tragedy, a disaster, and in terms of explanations, I think even I would be lost for words, and that is a big, big rarity in itself. But you've got to believe that we can go out there and win it tonight. We have got quality players all over the field. Leeds United this season, it's not been the same. The Bielsa effect that we saw before, people talking about him being one of the best managers in the world, even he couldn't keep his job with this Leeds United team. Jesse Marsch is there now, decent manager, who knows where it's going to go, but because of the precarious situation they're in, and the fact that there's always been this spicy rivalry between Leeds and Chelsea over the years. I remember my dad telling me stories back in the day that Leeds are one of the teams where, even as a home fan, if Leeds were coming to the Bridge, you'd be a bit worried about them. They've got an edge to them, they've got a wonderful fan base, and quite frankly, as much as I don't like them, for the sake of the Premier League and keeping as many of the big clubs that we historically remember in the division, I want to see them stay up. But tonight, I can't want anything other than an away win. Chelsea put a bit of breathing space between Arsenal and Spurs. It is very unlikely that we slip out of the top 4, mainly because Arsenal and Tottenham play each other. Sorry about the noise, there's some kids playing volleyball over there. Do love it, to be honest. Nice to have a view of people playing sports. Arsenal and Spurs play each other tomorrow, but we can't think about other results. We have got to go to Leeds tonight and get a win. So without any further ado, we're going to build my Chelsea starting 11 with the goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. There's been lots of issues regarding defending in recent weeks. I wouldn't say that Mendy was really at fault for either of the goals that Wolves scored at the weekend, but it's a collective. When we look at defensive errors, it isn't just sometimes individual defenders who might be out of position conceding goals due to individual mistakes, which is very rarely on Edouard Mendy. Sometimes it could be, but not so often. But Chelsea is a collective. It has to start from the back. The defenders need confidence in Mendy. Mendy needs confidence in those in front of him. And speaking of those in front of him, we're going with Aspi. We're going with Thiago Silva and Rudiger. I'm going for full experience with this one because even though Rudiger's going to leave, even though Azpilicueta still could potentially leave Chelsea, when you look across this back line, it is very, very experienced indeed. It's also the same back line that won Chelsea the Champions League. So despite all of the issues going on right now with conceding goals, dropping points left, right and centre, I think in a game like this, under an atmosphere that is going to be electrifying at Elland Road tonight, we've got to remember that we're playing against 12 men in this game. Elland Road is always a stadium where, when there's something to fight for, the Leeds fans give the players that big boost they need, and they desperately need a result. So that's my back three. Chalobah, I want to see Chalobah playing a lot more, but I do think Chelsea and Tuchel will go with experience for this game. Moving into the wing-backs, Reece James on the right, self-explanatory. Even though he's missed so much of this season, you could even argue that he deserves a place in the team of the year for the way that he's been so influential to Chelsea this season. Whenever Reece James plays, even if we are still impotent going forward, we struggle to make the final pass count, or we even struggle to make the pass in the final third. This guy is someone that we just know has that bit of magic in his locker to get something done, let alone the fact that Chelsea away from home are significantly better than we were, or than we are, at Stamford Bridge. The left-hand side, I have put Marcos Alonso in there simply because, despite what we said at the weekend, where Alonso says some Spanish profanities to Thomas Tuchel, the manager, and then Tuchel hoiks him off at half-time, Thomas Tuchel, in his press conference, has said that it's squished, it's over, it's resolved, it's fixed. Whatever that may mean, I do think that he's a man of his word, and as a result of that, Marcos Alonso will start this evening on the left-hand side. Moving in to the midfield two, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Mateo Kovacic. I'm concerned with the midfield. As much as there was a burst of form from Ruben a few weeks ago, he has looked a bit shaky again in the middle. And I think tonight, Chelsea have got to really control this game. We've got to control the atmosphere, control the possession. And I think as much as we do need to take more risks when we're going forward, and a lot of that does begin with the midfield, with ball progression, with incisive through balls, playing the right pass at the right time, considering there are injury concerns, injury worries, cup final coming up at the weekend against Liverpool, I think Ruben will be given the run tonight, and Kovacic, now he's back fit, alongside of him again. We move into the front three. This is, once more, such a difficult one to predict. Now, because I think that Timo Werner will start the game against Liverpool, and obviously as the week goes on and after this Leeds game is over, we'll talk a lot more about the FA Cup final in the build-up to Saturday's match. But I think Timo will be out the team tonight, and I think the front three is going to be Mason Mount, Romelu Lukaku, and Christian Pulisic. Now, I said a couple of weeks ago that I didn't see Lukaku playing for Chelsea again because Kai Havertz was in great form. There's all of that chaos surrounding Lukaku that never really was resolved. We never really knew, does Tuchel still want him to be there? Is Lukaku actually got his head in the game to deliver for us? And then at the weekend, against Wolves, we saw Romelu Lukaku step up. He goes to ground, wins the penalty, converts the penalty. 2 minutes later, scores what truly was a magnificent goal on his weak foot, celebrates near the crowd, and I think at this moment in time, whatever happens with Lukaku, Kai Havertz has been off the pace now for, I think, over a month, really. And for that reason, with Lukaku scoring 2 at the weekend, he's got to hold his place. If Lukaku does not start this game tonight, for any reason other than an injury, then I think it pretty much signs, seals and delivers the envelope that Lukaku will be leaving the club this summer. Christian Pulisic, there were many times at the weekend against Wolves where Pulisic was in brilliant positions. I gave him a green box in the review video because I thought he was very positive, but not only that, considering Chelsea in the final third, it is hit and miss 80-85% of the time. Pulisic was in very good positions more often when the ball would never come to him. Players would either shoot and hope for the best in angles in which they really couldn't expect anything more than hit the defender straight at the goalkeeper or go wide for a goal kick. So in this game, we're going to need a bit of dynamism. We're going to need movement. We're going to need energy, which is why Mason Mount is back in the team. Yes, we've got a cup final at the weekend, but as much as the FA Cup to me is a beautiful, majestic trophy that you just really want to win, it's the oldest footballing trophy there is. The FA Cup is still such a glorious competition, at least for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But with that being said, you've got to have Mason Mount in a game like this. Leeds are going to give everything. Bielsa Leeds or not Bielsa Leeds. You know that when you play against Leeds, there's going to be energy. There's going to be room for mistakes, and there's going to be pockets of space that players like Christian Pulisic can occupy. Defenders will be worried about the physical nature of Lukaku. Is he going to turn and do what he did to Wolves at the weekend? So for that reason, I've gone with this front three. Let me know if you agree with my decision in the comments down below. I've just realised there's been a flipping someone taking a piss next to me, but it's actually the pool draining the whole time. So hopefully that wasn't too frustrating. I've literally just moved in about an hour ago. So from tonight, 6 things we learned. The light's going to be back on. Everything's going to look fine and dandy, beautiful, lovely. And we just got to hope and pray that it is 3 points so that we can look forward to the cup final and start to relax a little bit about playing Champions League football next season, because we all know whatever summer we want to have this summer with signings, Champions League is essential. If we don't have that, then the big names are going to think twice about coming to Chelsea. That is fact. So tonight we've got to get a result. Let me know your score predictions in the comments down below, and it would be a nightmare of me not to give you mine, wouldn't it? I think we're going to win. I think there'll be goals in it. I think we're going to win 3-1. Could be 3-2. But I'm going with 3-1 Chelsea tonight, which would be absolutely bloody lovely. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to GBFC if you are new, haven't already done so. And if we can get 2,000 likes before kickoff, then well, I'm a delighted individual. Thank you guys for watching. See you all later. Come on, you Blues.